I'm going to give you the exact step-by-step blueprint that got me to rank 3000 so that you can rank up fast and easy. Number 1, you need a plan. No one has ever gone to the gym, done a few exercises a week, and after 1 year looked back and been like, wow, I have gained so much muscle since then. If you work out and want to gain muscle, it's common sense that you need a plan. You need to track your workouts and have a list of exercises for every workout. So what makes you think you can reach the high ranks without a plan in Valorant? You definitely don't need a super detailed step-by-step plan, but the most important part is there needs to be intention behind how you spend your time. The more strategic you are with how you're spending your time, the bigger return on investment you will get for your time. In other words, you want to get as much from your time as possible when you're trying to get better. We want to aim for the highest improvement per unit of time. Almost all Valorant skills can be divided into two major areas of improvement: game sense and mechanics. So all we really need to do is have a plan on how to improve game sense and mechanics. Afterwards, I'm going to cover how to master your agent and how to master any map, and how to put all the pieces together so that you can get better illegally fast. Number 2, mechanics. Improving Valorant mechanics is the same as when you improve different aspects of your aim. An extremely effective tool for improving your aim is with Take Benchmark. This benchmark tracks your progress on all aspects, flicking, tracking, and so on. It also shows you your biggest weaknesses and your greatest strengths. It's easier to improve skills we're bad at than mastering something. Therefore, we are able to achieve a higher improvement per unit of time. An insane aimer will get better by learning movement instead of getting even crazier aim. You choose your biggest weakness, then you iterate. Iterating is error correction. Unless you have almost perfect technique, you don't want repetition. You want iteration. You want to correct the errors you are making so that your technique becomes better. Through many iterations and improvements, your skills become better. Let's use flicking technique as an example. You realize you are overshooting a lot of your flicks, so you error correct and try to overshoot your flicks less. Now you don't overshoot anymore. But you realize you have a hard time micro correcting to the target, so you error correct and try to adjust precisely. But then you realize your flicks are just too slow, and you repeat this process until it's no longer a problem. You don't want 10,000 hours to master a skill, you want to aim for 10,000 iterations.
So in that sense, I think Malcolm Gladwell popularized this idea of 10,000 hours to mastery. I would say it's actually 10,000 iterations to mastery. An iteration is not repetition. Repetition is a different thing. Repeating is doing the same thing over and over. Iteration is modifying it with a learning and then doing another version of it.
How can we implement this to Valorant and create a plan to improve our mechanics? Unfortunately, we can't just make a benchmark and earn points to improve our crosshair placement. But I have a solution. I have made a list of all the mechanics in Valorant. So take a look at the list, then pick the mechanic you think is your biggest weakness. Afterwards, you want to practice that skill until you think it's no longer the biggest weak point. This could take everything from 3 to 14 days. And remember, we are not fixing our problems. We are iterating, and so we will most likely need to revisit these skills once it becomes a problem again. But how do we actually improve these skills? Don't worry, I'm going to show you exactly how. Number 1, first bullet accuracy. First bullet accuracy is best practiced in the range with medium to easy bots and using a sheriff or guardian and only shooting 1 bullet per enemy. Number 2, flick speed and control or technique. This is practiced in the practice range with medium or easy bots. And all you want to do is play normally, but instead of just flicking and trying to kill every single target, you want to actually look at your technique. Large flicks. Large flicks is also practiced with medium or easy bots, but here you want to stand really close to the targets and practice large flicks. Number 4, micro flicks. Micro flicks is also practiced with medium or easy bots, but here you want to stand really far away and practice your micro flicks. Number 5, tempo strafing and shooting. Shooting with movement is practiced by standing close and playing medium or easy bots. Here you want to start moving before the targets appear. Then you want to flick while moving, and then you stop as soon as your target is on the target. Number 6, gun control. For gun control, you want to do the same as aiming and moving, but now you want to switch up your shooting pattern. Burst, tap, spray, all of it. Number 7, crosshair placement. To practice crosshair placement, you want to play death matches and analyze your crosshair placement in every single fight. Death matches are good practice for crosshair placement since it's the maps you're actually going to play in ranked. Number 8, holding angles. To practice holding angles, you want to play team death matches and hold angles. Here you will also be practicing your crosshair placement by default. Number 9, tracking. Tracking is best trained in the practice range by turning on moving bots, then just track the bots at first, then start shooting them. Lastly, incorporate movement. You can watch an infinite amount of guides on how to improve your mechanics, but the only thing that will actually improve your mechanics is practice.
There are two types of education. There is procedural and there is declarative. So declarative knowledge is knowing about something. Procedural knowledge is knowing how to do something. The idea, in my opinion, for most people is that if you want to rapidly learn, you want to rapidly do those 100 repetitions as fast as you can so that you can suck 100 times in a row and find the 10 that sucked the least and then say, how do I suck least on the next 100?
If you spend your time wisely with a plan in mind and practice your weakest mechanics and iterate, you will have solved 40% of the puzzle. The other 60% is still locked. Now on to game sense and the next 20%. Number 3. Game sense. Game sense can be simplified to decision making. The better game sense you have, the better decision making you have. So let me show you how to get better decision making. It's actually quite easy. All we need to do is iterate once again. In almost all cases, when we have died or had no impact in a round, we've made multiple bad decisions. So all we need to do is review our decisions and error correct by finding better decisions to make in similar scenarios. For example, if you peek as Sage on defense, as soon as the barriers drop and you die,
I have this bag.
you have made bad decisions, and so after you die, you need to approach the situation with this mindset. There was multiple better decisions I could have done. Which better decisions can I come up with, and which one do I think is the best? In any given scenario, there are unlimited amounts of decisions to be made. There is never a perfect decision. Find decisions that are 1% better than the one you did. If you do this over a long period of time, you will have phenomenal decision making. To actually implement this, I have 4 ways to improve decision making. Number 1. Post-death analysis. Either have a notepad ready on another tab or a pen and piece of paper. Once you die, figure out a better decision you could have made and write it down. Once you find a recurring problem, start isolating that single skill and only focus on that until it's no longer a problem. Number 2. Post-game analysis.
Peek him!
Nice, one CT.
After every game, write down 2 good things you did and 2 bad things you did. After a few games, you will be able to see a pattern and find a problem that needs improving. Number 3. Coaching VODs.
Okay, hello.
Look my.
If you find it easier to learn through watching videos, then this approach might be for you. Find a coaching VOD on YouTube and watch gameplay from someone in a similar rank to yours and on the same agent. The only problem with this method is once you reach the higher ranks, you might not be able to find VODs. A lot of mistakes at higher ranks are also highly individual, and therefore I don't recommend this if you're above Ascended. Number 4. VOD reviewing. All the greats have had coaches: Tiger Woods, Michael Jordan, Cristiano Ronaldo, Mike Tyson. And what do coaches do? They all do one thing: they VOD review. It's not fancy, it's not fun, but it works. It's the fastest way to objectively look at a game and find all the tiny mistakes you're doing. Look at a half or the whole game. Find your biggest mistakes and then work on them. But don't VOD review every game you play. We can't fix all our mistakes instantly, so take it one step at a time. When learning how to ride a bike, we first learn to balance the bike for a few seconds, then for longer. Then we learn to steer the bike. After a while, we learn more complex things such as turning sharp corners and going faster. So learn one skill at a time. This is not sponsored, but I personally VOD review through using something called Inside Capture, and it's my favorite. I just start the app and it records my games automatically, and I can review it afterwards. It also tracks deaths and makes it easy for me to skip around and save time. You can even keep your notes in Inside Capture. You can have all the mechanics and game sense in the world, but unless you understand how to play your agent, you won't be able to reach the higher ranks. Number 4. Agent mastery. Mastering an agent is the same as mastering game sense and mechanics, but with a twist. When learning how to use raise satchels, there are decision-making aspects and mechanical aspects. First off, you need to learn why and when you want to use the satchels. Then there's also a mechanical aspect to it, the how. So how do you practice this? Just like the other mechanics, you practice the satchels until you can control them. Then you use one of the ways from the game sense part to gain better decision-making regarding your satchels. You can either fill or main one agent with a backup agent. You can either build one strong agent or 10 useless agents. I suggest you focus on one agent with a backup so that you can focus on other more important aspects of the game, such as game sense and mechanics, or even the fifth part of this blueprint. Map mastery. All maps are different. There are different entry paths, different angles, different strategies. You need to master each and every map to reach the higher ranks and to consistently rank up and get better. As of making this video, there are 7 maps in rotation and you need to master them all, no matter the rotation. Map mastery falls into the game sense category. It's all about the decisions you make on that specific map, the specific angles you pick, the path you enter, the way you use your utility on that map. If you're struggling, look at your Valorant tracker and find your worst maps. Then start iterating and error correcting on those maps. Review your decisions and make better ones. Number 6, mentality. Your mentality is the glue in this blueprint, the fundamental to everything. Without it, you won't succeed. The most common mental mistake Valorant players make is pointing the finger of blame. You will never get better by blaming your teammates or your bad setup.
A lot of times we have this desire to point the blame finger externally. Wherever you point the finger of blame, power follows.
When you begin your journey of improvement and betterment, you need to set realistic expectations.
It's my fault, not anyone else's, which means it's my responsibility and my action that can change that.
Anything worthwhile takes time. Most things that last have the slowest start.
People get frustrated not achieving what they want because they assume that they're going to jump across a cavern in one leap.
If there's one thing you need to understand mentally, it's this. You are the reason you're in this rank. No one or nothing else.
The person that I need to punish or get back at is the real person who got me here, which is me.
When you're trying to get better and rank up, it is also important that you enjoy the process. Don't pursue a rank in hopes that you will get happiness, but be happy so that you can reach that rank. Happiness creates success, but success does not create happiness. If you don't enjoy the journey, I'm actually not sure it's worth it.
Dopamine is not about the pursuit of happiness, it is about the happiness of pursuit.
So when you're playing Valorant, make sure you actually enjoy the games. Make sure you actually enjoy the process when you're playing, because if you don't, you're not going to get better and then you won't reach your rank. If you want more step-by-step videos like this one, check out my 5 tips to instantly fix your movement.